ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Brandon Cruz Daily Fantasy Podcast on YouTube. Video. Weird. What's going on? This is a show specifically designed to cover pivots, GPPs. I forgot my intro. Basically, don't ask me stupid questions. This isn't for beginners. And let's get into the truck series. I just forgot my intro for the first time. Whatever, we'll continue on here. Oh, I gotta change this again. So you people can read this easily, because sometimes it doesn't show up very well on the video. We're talking about the truck series at Texas this weekend. Go to racefortheprize.com to get the fantasy NASCAR spreadsheet that I use and you need to be using as well, because this has no real numbers other than my projections. There's no real numbers. It's just me spitballing, me summarizing my opinions for you people to be able to view it easily on YouTube, for you to be easy to, or for my thoughts and views to be easily viewed versus me just ranting in an audio-only podcast. If you listen to Pierce, and I was going to bring this up as well, but he beat me to it. These contests are pretty small for Sunday. A lot of people are going to be focused on the NFL. I'm not even sure if these are going to fill. I assume that they're going to fill, because I always fill up when they're small. But I mean, this is competing directly with Sunday football. And I'm going to heavily focus on the truck series contest. I'm going to try and find overlay. I'm going to try and find people who don't have badges next to their names. I'm going to try and just scoop up. I didn't even finish the DNF factors here. I'm going to try and scoop up, contests that I think I can win, contests that I think have very soft competition. I would advise you do the same if you really care about this stuff. If you don't, focus on your stupid NFL, because NFL DFS is bad shit insane right now. And I'm only playing showdowns. Like, there's no way I'm playing main slate NFL this year. I mean, I think I did it the first week, somehow cashed miraculously. After that, I was like, nope, not going to do it. And my life has been way easier. Let's look at the randomness of the lineup I ran last night. When I was like, Matt, I think Freeman is going to get injured. I think he's going to do a Dale. I pray to God he's owned, and I'm going to play Wayne, what is his name? Gallman Jr.? It worked. Like, what? Dude, this shit is so random. Like, I'd be so pissed. I'd be tilting like crazy if I played Freeman last night. Anyway, we cashed, had a good line. I'm having way more success on showdowns than I am on main slate DFS, just because anybody can cash on main slate DFS. You can survive if a random guy, scores a touchdown in showdown. If it happens on a main slate, I mean, dude, NFL is the hardest thing to play it. I don't know. I'm not playing main slate I'm not playing main slate NFL this year. So keep that in mind. That's why I'm focused on the truck series so much. Let's look at the drivers that I'm looking at, and I'm going to be really, really hard on these drivers because I'm in a ranting mood today. So get ready, because you're going to hear some stuff. You're going to be like, "Oh, dude, what are you doing? You're an asshole. What are you doing?" Anyway, Trey Hutchins showing up this week again. I believe he's ran one race earlier this year. Let me just look again. I got to refresh since I did this earlier. He ran yada yada yada. He ran at Pocono and Michigan earlier in the year. Finished 36th at. Wait a minute. No, he ran Kentucky earlier in the year and Michigan earlier in the year. He finished 36th at Pocono, 29th at Kansas, number 2, starting dead last. If you've listened to Pierce's content in the past or his podcast this week pertaining to the truck series, which I advise that you do, because he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. The truck series race at Texas has normally been not a wreck fest, not a necessarily let's stack everybody from the back, but they tend to have a lot of accidents, and people tend to finish better than they should. Earlier this year, it didn't go that way. I think that was because it was right when we were coming back from COVID, or coming back from the COVID break. People weren't really pushing it all that much. I mean, I say that. Brendan Poole walled it. Tate Fogelman Chalk walled it, which I told you not to play earlier in the year. Specifically at Texas. But yeah, I mean, we didn't see nearly as many wrecks at Texas as we normally do in the race earlier in the year. I imagine it's going to happen here because I think there's a lot of bad drivers in this race. I think there's a lot of bad drivers who have cars that can run quick, and I think we're going to see incidents. Not like, 15 guys wreck out, but I think we're going to see, a good chunk of, 8 to 6 drivers finish way better than they should. And those drivers are going to be people that you might want one or two of in a lineup to be optimal, things of that nature. We're going to get right into it. Trey Hutchins starting last. Because of that factor, I don't think he does that poorly. I think he finishes around 28th, 27th, somewhere around there. And ceiling, as I put here, because I don't always read off of here anymore, the ceiling in this race are without people crashing. This is just how I think they would perform. And then my interest does not mean my pool. Somebody asked me that. I was like, look, it's just answering a question of like, because people will ask me, for example, Josh Bilicki this weekend. I'm very interested in Josh Bilicki this weekend, so I just put the little note there so you people don't have to ask me that. James Busher coming back into the series, but I mean, this dude is dummy thick expensive. $9,900. I mean, this ain't an X Cup Series racer. This ain't. I understand he's a champion, but look, I don't believe in James Busher this much. I don't think he's gonna pay off. I think he finishes around 23rd to 19th. You're smoking crack if you think I'm paying that. Norm Benning, you got to post him. Not gonna work. Josh Ram, too expensive for the risk that he has. Obviously, he can work out if people wreck, but I mean, he's $6,800. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. That is nuts. Tim Veens. Now, Tim Veens is a guy that fits our mold that we're looking for in a sense of, this place is a wreck fest. This race doesn't go well. Let me just make sure we record it. This race doesn't go well. There's some wrecks here and there. Tim Veens is the type of guy that I imagine he's going to be so off the pace. He can easily gain those positions because he misses the wrecks. I mean, he's a lap down, he gets wrecked, or he's a lap down, 13 seconds behind the field. People wreck. He's a lap down, but when he gets caught up to the lap that guy DNF'd at, he passes them. I mean, Tim Veens is like the definition of a guy who can gain spots in a race that has a lot of people wrecking. Josh Bilicki. He has a sponsorship for Josh Reaume. He's running 700 miles on Sunday. He's running both the truck race and the Cup Series race. I like him a lot. He's sponsored. I don't think he's going to DNF, especially when you're running 700 miles Sunday. You don't want to just destroy the truck. You just want to race clean, learn the line. I mean, it's practice for him. I kind of like him for the Cup Series a little bit because of this as well. But Josh Bilicki, look, he's not a star guy. I have him ranked B because I think he's probably the best play here. I like him a lot here, but that's just how it is. Don't expect him to run very well. I mean, I like him a lot. Projected finish 29th, ceiling 27th. I mean, I don't have this guy swinging at swinging at the fences. I don't know. I don't watch baseball. I watch The Sandlot. That's about the only interest I have in baseball. Jennifer Jo Cobb, yet again, Tim Veens, Jennifer Jo Cobb, people that I can see doing very well if people wreck. Ray Cicerelli he's had speed. I mean, this guy is showing up right at speed. He might not finish well. 26, 27, 26, the last three races, including Talladega. He's doing better than he was earlier in the year. He's running well. He's not wrecking. He's at least having a car that can go pretty fast. I mean, I don't hate. I'm actually gonna change that, man. I have interest. I have low interest in Ray Cicerelli. Yet again, I make one lineup, so I gotta fight in my mind who I want to go with. Look at projections. Look at the optimizer that you can, or the lineup generator that you get at racefortheprize.com. I'll run my projections in that, see what lineups it pops out, and then decide who I want to go with. But I'm interested in Ray Cicerelli. Dylan Lepton, starting 29th. I believe he's in the 17 car this weekend. Let me just make sure. Yes, he is in the 17. We just saw Haley Deegan hop in there and run very well. I imagine Dylan Lepton will do the exact same. I think this is the same thing as the Deegan play last weekend. I mean, you're dumb if you fade it. $7,100 should easily pay it off. I don't see him wrecking. Chase Purdy, same situation here in the 24. Same situation as last week, David Gravel. I understand he got in a wreck. It's because, as I said in my video, he doesn't have the experience on these trucks to be well. He got loose. He overcorrected. I'm not saying he's a bad driver. He's a great driver, but he overcorrected, dailed into the wall, destroyed the front of the car. That's how it went for Gravel. But, I'd play him again. He was cheap in a GMS truck, That's just how it is. But yeah, Chase Purdy in the 24 car, or in the 24 truck, $7,100. I'm fine with that. A safe guy. Nally Decker, fat F for me. Man, fat F. Look, she's slow. Okay, I'm not saying this to be an asshole. I'm just saying this because I'm putting money on these people. And I don't want to cripple in my line. Brandon, you're an asshole. What are you talking about? Okay, look, she's slow as it is. She doesn't have the speed. She doesn't have the talent. She doesn't do well. She's a lap turning driver, but she gets lapped. This year, we have seen her get stranded laps down, running like 33rd, 30th. Even in a race that I think there's wrecks in, I don't think she can do well. On top of that, and I'm not doing this to make fun of her, but she hasn't been in a car in a long time because she's been sick in the hospital. I forgot what she has exactly. She gets heavy vertigo. She gets very weak. I don't remember what it is. Otherwise, I'd say it. I don't remember what it is. But she's been in the hospital. Are you kidding me? You're telling me I'm going to put money on a driver who has been ill, who has been very fatigued. Guarantee you she's lost weight. I'm not doing this to talk about her body. I'm talking about it in like when you're sick and you go to the hospital, like you're not working, your body's resting. I don't want that type of driver in my line this weekend. Natalie Decker is a fat F for me this weekend. I don't think she runs well. I mean, I'm not making fun of her. Just saying what it is. Saying what everybody's thinking. Dawson Cram starting 26th. This is the car that they ran last week. Ran better than I thought it would. You know, I think he's starting around where he'll finish. This is the driver who can take advantage of people wrecking. But Dawson Cram is too expensive, man. Dawson Cram at $6,900 is just far too expensive for what he can offer. I don't think it works out. Jordan Anderson, not interested. Craig Greenfield and Jesus Jeff Hammond, not interested. Tanner Gray starting 23rd, interested. Don't got to say much there. He's going to be popular. Spencer Boyd, he's starting where he should finish. If people play him, it's because they're down to him in price range, and he is at his ceiling. I don't see him doing any better. Last week was a ceiling performance from him. Finished 22nd at Kansas. You know, that's how it is. I don't think he can do much this weekend. Stuart Friesen starting 21st. He ran well at Texas last weekend, or not last weekend, last time they were here, but it was due to running very well at the end of the race. He's performed very poorly this year. I can't tell if it's the driver. I don't think it's the driver because he's doing very well on dirt. When he has a car that can run well, shows it to the track well, he runs well. Last weekend we saw Timothy Peters in this car run very well. It seems to have been fixed. The issues that this team has had with the car seems to be fixed. I'm fine going him at starting 20th, but I think he's 15th to 8th driver. Will that work? Maybe. Don't know. I'd much rather go Rafael Lessard. Starting 20th is going to be chalky. You know, that's all I got to say there. Danny Bone, not interested. Austin Wayne Self, Tate Fogelman. I mean, this is going to be chalk. I mean, everybody builds lineups around Austin Wayne Self and Tate Fogelman based on pricing. Tate Fogelman is $5,500. Excuse me. He's probably going to be chalky again. Last time at Texas, he was chalky. He wrecked. Earlier this year, he's been chalky. He's had issues. Earlier this year, he's been chalky. He's run well. I would just rather fade. I'd rather fade this dude, go somewhere else, pray he wrecks, pray he has a horrible wreck on lap 5 and takes out a lot of people and gets injured. And I'm just kidding. Not really. Kind of. Maybe. I don't know. Tyler Hill, not interested, starting 16th. That's about where he'll finish. Johnny Sauter. I really like Johnny Sauter here. I think he's too cheap. I think he should easily hit value this weekend. Yeah, I like Johnny Sauter, man. I have him at about a little over 5x value. I think he can compete for a win. I like Johnny Sauter here. I know I have him projected for 10th, but I think he runs better in the race here. This is no man's land. You know, Ryan Truex, Trevor Bayne, Todd Gilliland, Derek Kraus. Trevor Bayne and Truex should lose positions. They should finish slightly behind where they're starting. Obviously, that does not work for DK. Todd Gilliland, starting where he should finish. We have seen him run well earlier in the year. He's starting 12th here. I think he runs better, but I don't. I think he finishes 9th, man. I don't think people are going to go to Todd Gilliland because he's hard to fit in your line. $9,100 is a tall order for this man. I don't think he hits value. I think he could run 9th, 8th up there and still not be in the optimal lineup, still not hit. It just depends on who leads. It just depends on how many dominators we have. I'm not a big fan of these guys starting here. I just don't think people are really going to go there. I'd much rather play Christian Eckes starting 10th. I'm fine with that. I think he performs very well. Tyler Ingram, not interested. Ben Rhodes, I mean, this is where it gets tough because I'm going to focus primarily on Sheldon Creed, Austin Hill, and Zane Smith when I'm creating a lineup. I got to figure out who I like from here. Last week, I liked Zane Smith. I like him again. Zane Smith is probably my favorite play going in to win this race, dominate the race, offering place differential. I'm not even going to bother filling this in. Sheldon Creed is starting first. Sheldon Creed has been very well on these tracks this year. He's starting first. I think he leads the first stage. I think Sheldon Creed has surpassed Brett Moffitt, and I think he has surpassed Austin Hill in terms of speed. I think it's Zane Smith and Sheldon Creed this year for the truck championship and for the fastest truck on track. So these two guys I'm going to primarily focus on getting, because of that. I can't really work in Tyler Ankrum. I can't really work in Matt Kraft. I can't really work in Grant Enfinger. I can't work in Brett Moffitt. I just think Sheldon Creed and Zane Smith is the way to go. But Austin Hill is a good play as well. I'm not interested in Brett Moffitt and Austin Hill. I think in order for them to win and for them to do well, Sheldon Creed needs to have a bad day and Zane Smith needs to have a bad day. And I just don't like. I'd rather, like last night, I'd rather play NFL and focus on guys possibly getting injured than these guys having a bad day, especially when it's a dominant car in the truck series. I just don't want to focus on that or build a lineup around where I need this guy to do bad. I'd just rather play the guy who I project to do the best and for dominators or for leaders, and focus on, pivoting at punts or values and things of that nature. So that's how I would look at it. That's how I'm going to approach this race. Thank you guys for listening. I got a Patreon in the description if you'd like to support me. Send donations through that. If you don't, I understand. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. If I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can get monetized, and you guys can start skipping ads on here, so I can make at least 7 cents off of each video. Hopefully that'll show up by 2035. I think it's 250 or somewhere around there. So if you can help me get there in the next 4 weeks, that'd be awesome. If not, we'll try and get it next year. Thank you guys for listening. Best of luck, and we'll chat later, alligators. Peace out, home skillets, and bye-bye.